Welcome to your Akashic Records June forecast reading. My name is Carrie. I'm an Akashic Records reader and teacher, and also an intuitive tarot reader. It's so good to have you have you on the channel. If you're new, please make sure you say hello in the comments. So, let me tell you a little bit about this reading. These are Akashic Records readings, and they are really, if you're new to the Akashic Records are really the energetic frequency of your soul's history. So, every lifetime you've ever lived and everything in between, and it really carries the clarity of your higher self and your soul's blueprint. So, when you tap into them, and you bring forth that information, you're getting a lot of clarity, wisdom, guidance from the realm of the soul. So make sure you stick around and see how this might be a little different than some of the other readings that you get here. I can't wait to see what you think. Let's tap in. So, what I'm doing in this case is if you find yourself to be an Aries in any part of your chart that you really connect with, let's put it that way, and that energy of Aries is an influence in your reality. This is for you. And this is a timeless reading. We are doing it in June for the forecast of June, but we can also say we know in the realm of spirit that there is no time or space. So it's relevant whenever it's relevant to you. Okay, so I'm going to just be tapping in to, again, Aries energy here, bringing forth messages of wisdom, inspiration, and guidance. And my channel is dedicated to supporting you on your spiritual path and just being able to connect in with your spiritual practice on a regular basis throughout your life for healing, insight, manifestation, and for your growth. So let's get started. All right, I'm just going to tap in and see what information might be channeling through right away, Aries, and to bring forth guidance. I'm hearing the words, you're packing your bags, you're packing your bags. So, what that says to me is likely some of you are going to be literally traveling and moving. So, but also I feel like this is you traveling figuratively. So that means that you are making some changes. This is the energy that's going on right now. And the other readings I've done so far, we've seen a lot of action, motion, decision making, or feeling as though we need to make a decision. So let's see what this brings for you right away. Wow. Okay. The other thing is I am an energy reader and Reiki master, so I'm tapping into the collective energy, the aura, the chakras of you, and I'm really right away in my throat chakra. My throat chakra, and if you're familiar with the throat chakra, amazing, and if you're not, the throat chakra is really the spiritual energy center that's connected to your communication, where you channel the divine or your intuition. And when it is blocked or not functioning as clearly, you have a harder time communicating your truth, expressing yourself. So right away I'm feeling like this is working. This is happening. And also your energy is so bright right now, bright like the sun and shining like the sun. So you just recently this is your recent past, right? And so this means something energetically for you is really happening. You're in alignment and you are at that point where either you've recently had some strong successes or you've had something like a job promotion or a change of residence or new relationship. Like something is turning into being a successful energy. That is what is coming forth. And so, as you're doing this, and it does feel like it could be related to relationships. And the reason I say that is because we're getting the Four of Wands. And typically that's connected for me with home life or even a living situation where you feel there's that sense of stability, a sense of celebration, a sense of happiness and delight. So this is a shift. But at the same time, I feel like this could just be you feeling really at home within yourself, where you live, your situation in general. And it feels to me like you're creating a solid foundation. This is something that you worked towards, something that you've earned. The thing that I'm hearing also too, Aries, is that, the landscape of our lives can be so complex at times. It can have different complex relationships. It can have different goals that maybe didn't work out, things that we put our energy in towards that doesn't come into fruition, and where things sort of break down and fall away. But for you right now, I would say many of you are in a season of growth and of excitement and of development. It doesn't mean that it's been easy, is what I'm hearing. In fact, I can feel the struggle within many of you because I can feel it in my third chakra, which is your power center. So it's you following through with purpose, really wanting to be in alignment again with what? Your intuition. The high priestess is here. So there's a square alignment of being connected to this part of your life that where you followed and trusted your inner path, your higher knowing, in order to create stability in your life. So this could mean moving away from places where you don't thrive as much. This could be friendships, this can be relationships, this can be living situations, this can be problematic, even places where you live. This could be a problematic like landlord, things like that. But you have trusted yourself, you have put yourself out there, made the choices based on your instinct, not stayed stagnant and stuck. And I just have to applaud you. That's what your spirit guides are saying. That's what they're saying in the Akashic Records. We want to applaud you. You have worked very hard to get to where you are. And I'm also hearing the words landslide, as though, when you've worked very hard for something and you have to climb up to the top of that hill to get to the other side. But then just over the hill, you start to go to the valley. So in our lives, this is what I'm being reminded of. We have peaks and we have valleys. And so sometimes when we're climbing up that mountain, it is so challenging. We go through times when, our feet hurt, when our socks get holes in them, when it rains, when we have detours, when people try to throw roadblocks up. It's like all these things you've had to overcome. But now, being at the top of the hill, you're on the other side of that. And that means that just over the edge of that hill, you've got the beautiful valley before you. And I see like this beautiful range of like streams and waterways and valleys and grass and a beautiful landscape just before you, as though energetically it's getting easier. So that's the month of June. That's the energy, the starting of the energy. Now, here's what I want to say. Don't sabotage yourself with being busy or feeling guilty because you feel like you're not busy enough. That's what I'm hearing. So, Spirit's really saying take a pause, take a break. You don't have to be doing something all the time to seemingly be productive. The other thing is you do not need to earn favor with spirit or the universe by playing like you're always being a good person by being busy all the time. That doesn't help. And if you feel any guilt about taking time to yourself or relaxing, that's just something you want to start chipping away at. That's really what I'm hearing. Because it feels to me like you're one of those people, you might even be considered to be a little bit hyperactive or always moving and not sitting still a lot with your energy. That Aries energy, that fire is like, I've got to keep moving. Right. And if you have anything that says, I'm being lazy if I'm not moving, right? You want to really pay attention to that because I feel like that you're going to sabotage all of the hard work that you've put into getting up that mountain because you are thinking you're still not doing enough. Like the thoughts are crowded. That's what I'm hearing. And the thing is, you've earned this. But more than that, just by existing and being who you are it. So your guides are just really opening up the energy field here and saying, these souls have worked so hard, but let them also know that they need to respect themselves just as they are, right? They're also talking about they're mentioning the words playing it safe. So maybe you've been in the past, like playing it safe, like not taking risks, not taking chances. But based on everything I've seen, you're at that point where you broke away from tradition and you've moved into this place of taking the leap of faith. And that's a huge accomplishment. And we have the Page of Pentacles at the top. So this is you again building something new, learning about it, studying it, moving forward with it, prioritizing it, not letting other things get in the way of this, right? So giving yourself a sense of openness here, a sense of, again, this is my priority. This is what I want to build. This is what I want to invest in. This is important to me. You've made that choice. That's what Spirit's saying. You have made the choice. Coming up on the horizon for you this June, 11/11 on the clock. Ooh, I love this reading. We've got the Lover's card coming. So, what that's telling me right away is that you have been working on both parts of yourself. So, when we look at divine masculine, divine feminine, right? The aspects of the divine feminine is intuition, receiving, emotion, receptivity, openness, creativity, flow. And then we look at masculine, action, logic, protection. These two parts of yourself you're considering, and you're trying to find the place in between the spaces of that where they connect. Because having imbalance, where again, this is where we're going to mature this reading and to see where you are. Because remember, I said earlier about don't feel guilty if you're spending time sitting down doing nothing, supposedly. Because there's still a part of you that I'm getting, there's some friction there. And I just want to see in your Akashic records, like, what is that about? What's the friction? What's in the subconscious? What kind of past life energy is coming up that can be cleared? Now, when you work in the Akashic records, and I do have a free guide to work in the Akashic records, I'll link it here in the show notes, which is telling us that we have when we go into the Akashic records, we can really quite easily look at past life karmic influences and how they in our subconscious affect us karmically. And they are the things that push up against us unconsciously and make us do things that keep us out of alignment. Just keep that in mind. And what I'm getting here is there's probably a past life coming up, and this can be collective because a lot of you have had very similar past life experiences that you're clearing right now, right? We're in the age of Aquarius. So what do we have? So we're getting a few things about this past life. So I'm getting these cards of parent, being a mother, but imprisonment, there's something there. But then we also have bringing value, justice, discipline, harmony. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm getting by this whole story that's unfolding. So this past life, more than likely for many of you, this blueprint, because there are a lot of them that are very similar, but this past life specifically was very much where you were living in a society that had a regime that really watched what its citizens did. It watched. It was a little bit like a dictatorship is what I'm getting. It is a dictatorship, and what they would measure everything you did. So they would look out for things like if you were practicing religion, the wrong kind of religion, or if you were speaking out against the government, or if you were doing anything incorrectly, like you had to be like a model citizen, giving back, being, and then we're also, this is an angel, but we're getting justice, discipline, harmony. Okay. The thing that I'm noticing in here is that thing about discipline and doing things exactly the way you were supposed to be doing them, right? If not, you would be imprisoned. And that's what I'm getting. You would be punished, you would be disciplined, you could be imprisoned, things like that. So that kind of energy, because I've done hundreds of past life readings and regressions and healing work connected to people's Akashic records around this. These things cause something in the subconscious, which makes us react, which makes us feel like I can't relax. If I don't act a certain way, I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to have something happen to me. I'm going to lose everything. Now, do we logically think that? We do not. But does it press upon us? It can. So, how can we move past this? How can we move past this reactionary energy, which says, if I sit down and relax, or if I just join, I'm going to lose everything, right? So, how can we release that energy? Well, one thing you can do is consciously, you can talk, I'll give you a few ideas. You can talk to your guides and ask it for it to be gently released. You can go into your Akashic records yourself, and I have a meditation you can use. I'll attach it here onto this video. You can also go in yourself. I have a guide you can use, which you can go to the source of where it is and help it to release, help it to adjust. You can visualize it, you can ask it to leave, things like that. Transmute the energy. And this will make you feel as though you can actually enjoy the life that you're creating. This is so important. So this is coming up for you this month, Aries. This is the energy. This is that you're in a point of accomplishment. You're in a point of needing to enjoy the things that you've worked very hard for, but you don't need to suffer anymore. Okay? Ah, final card for us today for this reading, Aries, for the month of June, the forecast for this Akashic Records reader. I want to first say, I've enjoyed doing this so much. I don't normally do the zodiacal readings here because the ones I've done in the past, not as many people have viewed. Now, my channel is newer. I just started it in February, but let me know in the comments, would you, if you enjoyed this readings? Because I thought people love my Akashic Records readings, and I would love to couple it with these zodiac readings. So let me know what you think. And if you would be so kind to become a subscriber and make sure you hit the like and follow button, I would be so excited to see you again. Your final card today, Aries, is faith. Having faith in what you work towards. Doesn't she look like she's come to the top of a mountain and she should just jump right off? So have faith in all you've put your energy towards. Thank you so much, Aries. I hope you have an incredible month, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Take care.